here. Do. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this evening. We got what we call Four Square Conversation. Now, Four Square Conversation, what that means is we have four different topics. We talk about them for 30 minutes apiece. We're here from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I got to give you the heads up. Sometimes we get into one of these topics, and sometimes we get to all four. Sometimes we get to two, three, and sometimes we just stick to one the whole night. So if we get into a conversation and it get a little what's the word I'm looking for? If we get a little heavy, if we get a little intense, there you go. There you, my man. Get a little intense. We're not gonna go away from it. We're gonna stay right there. And I think the first topic we're gonna talk about may have the possibility of doing just that. But right now, we got to go around, give everybody an opportunity to introduce themselves. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem. Rico, tell everybody who you are, brother, and where you're hailing from.
As you see, my name is Rico Jackson. I am from Anniston, Alabama.
Good deal. Good deal. Don.
Hey, this is Don, aka D Crucial, hailing from Georgia. You already know.
Hey, now, Leonard could be a little upset at you. Now, Leonard could be because Leonard from Michigan, and you know what happened
Hey,
a couple of days ago. Leonard, he's showing flyers and Georgia signs and all
So
kinds of.
man, some told me to wear my kryptonite. I'm gonna wait till next
oh,
week. Bro. I'm gonna wait till next week.
hey, we'll come back to y'all. We'll come back to y'all.
It's gonna be a revisit. It's gonna be a revisit. Hopefully, this visit is gonna be a little better than the last one was. Make it a closer game. I ain't gonna say who I'm going for, but hopefully it's gonna be a closer game. I see it like that.
Yeah.
Captain Leonard. Captain Leonard. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine. This is Leonard Jones, the New Order National Human Rights Organization, calling from Covington, Georgia.
Now, Leonard. I know how you feel about your Michigan. I saw you, man. You had your Michigan Wolverine, your jacket on. You had your hat and everything on, man. Listen, we got a bulldog on here, Leonard. What's really going on, man? What are we gonna do? What we gonna do?
Hey,
I don't mind them
respect it.
winning since I just seen Herschel Walker lose. How about that?
Oh, okay. Herschel Walker, he did lose.
Did you see that interview?
Oh, good deal. Good deal. He talk about one of your alums, man. Talk about one of your alums or Herschel Walker. Herschel, bust through the line, Walker.
It's
Listen,
all good.
there you go. There you go. Now we're gonna get to our first topic. And Rico, we're gonna start this thing off with you, brother. We're gonna start off with you, and I want you to bring us on up to speed as to what's on your heart concerning what we're about to talk about. Now, we a lot of ladies say they want this and they want that and they want all kind of different things in a mate, in a spouse or companion or whatever you want to call it. As men of these three things, and you can add another to it if you like. What do we really look for when we're looking for that significant other? What is more important, money, looks, or character? And does it change as you advance and become a little older and a little more mature? What do you say to that? Unmute yourself, Rico.
I'm gonna say character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you could have any pig with lipstick that could get some money. You know, any Jezebel floozy that can get some money.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you can have a woman with some character that really knows how to rear a home, rear children. You know, take care of home. They can be supportive and actually bring a peace of mind because really that's what I think. I think most men mainly want a peace of mind. Somebody that they don't have to worry about being against them, but somebody they can depend on being there for them, and not for them as far as just a supporter, but as an ally.
Mm-hmm.
Bona fide, unconditional ally. Somebody that you both chose to live for each other. And with that, you hope that person brings you more peace than anything. If y'all on the same page, you're gonna bring you a lot of peace. So I think what it boils down to, once you get past the looks and you get past the money, and you think about all the character issues and the class and just the inside of a person, how much peace that can bring you on down the road. How about when you get in the real life situations and you might end up in a situation where she might have to change your pamper when you get older. You get what I'm saying? She might have to really take care of you. You don't want somebody that's so materialistic and superficial to the point where they just like, man, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch them. I don't want to be bothered with that. You want somebody that's going to look at you like you're a part of them. They love you just as much as they love the children that y'all had together. So they're going to be there for you through thick and thin. So, you look for the character, because you will find that in the character of a person.
That's good. That's good. Don, what do you say to that, brother? And we got 3 categories here, and you can add another one to it if you want. And I want to know from you also, Don, does it change, man? Did a young you, did it change what you were looking for when you became more of a mature you? Money, looks, or character? Which means more?
I think definitely it changes, or more so, it's gonna adapt a little bit. Life kind of throw curveballs at you. A man will never know the infinite mysteries to a female. So what we do, we kind of stick to our core desire, our core fundamentals. Like you said, Rico said, peace, somebody to be your partner, somebody to build something with. But outside of that, you have to go off the mystery that you're going to enjoy getting to know this person for the rest of your life. And it's going to be a continuation from, when you met this person, who they are, and love that person enough to be like, yo, I can see myself enjoying your company for the rest of my life. But
Wow.
it's gonna be a mystery, because I mean, I find myself with my wife, man, just like finding something new every other day, and sometimes it has to sit in my spirit a little bit, but for the most part, I come around and be like, that's pretty cool, and it's like with anything, it takes a life of its own, and you really get to know your partner once you cohabitate with them. You see them at their worst, at their best, how they condition themselves. You know what I mean? Find somebody who you can be yourself with. If you're around this person and you feel like you can't eat the way you want to, you can't work out the way you want to, you can't work and hustle the way you want to, meaning that they're like, well, why are you working so hard, or why are you working too little, or y'all ain't on the same page. You get on the same page, you have a partner. They there for the good, the bad, and the ugly. You can be you in your home. You got something. You got
Yeah.
something.
There you go. There you go. Leonard, coming to you, brother. What do you say to that, man? And I want you to address, because the 2 gentlemen before you, they didn't address, did it change as time went on? But I want you to, what is more important, money, looks, or character? And does that change, or did that change? A 21-year-old Leonard, did you look for different things than what a Leonard today is looking for?
Like you looking for something.
Go ahead, Leonard.
Well, actually, I don't think it was that way. Like, I love what Don said. It's, can I see myself spending the rest of my life with you? I don't know why, because if you see, because I ain't been looking in 25 years, so I have no idea. So I think, one, if you grow, when you find that person, you grow together. And just like he said, me and my wife still discover new things about one another.
That's good.
Because one, we have different points of view. We're still human. We're still individuals. We happen to be married. We have likes. Some things I like, she don't like. Like what? She would never want to be on the radio.
Yeah.
We're just that different. But it's not like what Don said. Once you find that person and you committed, you tend to stay that way. That's the whole point of taking the oath.
That's good. That's good.
You know, so that's what you do when you commit to that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned a lot of stuff, working hard, hustling hard, you know, those things that do come up.
Mm-hmm.
A great partner just makes sure you're balanced.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Now, Rico, I know how you feel about referencing movies, and I really don't care too much for referencing movies as well. But one of the movies that came to mind, what excuse me, while y'all was talking, was Boys in the Hood, and that scene where I can't remember his name in the movie, um Trey, I think his name was Trey,
Yeah.
and he went through the situation with the police and everything, and he went back, and Neil Long was there, and he went there, and he just had that punching scene where he was fighting the air, and what that was, when people, a lot of people didn't understand that that was his frustration, and he went to her presence to release that frustration, and he beat up the air, and while he was in the midst of doing that, she was that part that comforted him, and so. And man, I go deep when when I look at certain things like that. But my thing is, we as certainly as black men, we're so beat up and beat down by this thing called life. We're so beat up and beat down. Don't we just want that one place we could just go and have that peace that y'all was talking about? And she should be that place. Should she
Yeah,
not be that place? Go ahead.
yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, that sensitive, confident person
Mm-hmm.
that could bring you that peace of mind and all this chaos and all this competition and testosterone that we have to come out here and go and face, to come
Mm-hmm.
home to some compassion.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that peace of mind of where you know this man has to go through above ordinary things on the job. You know, it's one thing to go to a job and have to deal with attitudes and behaviors, but
Mm-hmm.
then being a black man
Yes.
going to a job, you might have other things that you have to deal with that the average person doesn't have to deal with. Those extra
Mm-hmm.
little codes that still
Mm-hmm.
exist. The non-promotions or non-considerations, and you coming home and needing somebody to vent to. You know, man, I've been around people, man, that have been disrespected in the worst ways. And then they'll come home and they'll say, man, I'm sick of this person. Every time you turn around, N-word, N-word, N-word.
Mm-hmm.
He make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the person that's paying them their check.
Yeah.
So they let him get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because he the boss man. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and I just couldn't understand going through that. But then at the same time, being that person that had to come home to that wife
Mm-hmm.
that knew that you stood up and put up with more things than you should have as a man and as a father.
Come on.
You know, having that peace of mind, and that person is understanding enough to say, well, okay, you know what? I know you probably had a hard day at work. That used to just be a cliche. Come
Mm-hmm.
on in after a hard day at work. Yeah, sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
a little harder just when you got a little darker skin.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot more hard. A lot.
Mhm.
And I don't even know that that's the proper way to say that, but a lot more harder. I'll say it like that tonight. Don, and we got another call. I'm gonna go to that call in just 1 second. But Don, I saw you shaking your head. Agreements, man. And when I referenced that movie, it something lit up in you, brother. What talk to me?
One, I love that movie. You know, so I mean, that's one of the little, you know, coming of ages movie
Mm,
for, you know, little guys like us. You know what
yes,
I
sir.
mean? Like, you
Mhm.
always got coming of age movies, and for us, that was the first, like one of the first realist representation of what's going on in our youth, in our hood
Yes.
and inner city or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
um, oh man. So yeah, the reason why I lit up because that particular scene, it does show that the guy's being vulnerable and, you know, consoling in his newly found girlfriend, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they shared that tender moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that does not define him. And one, you can't have I, excuse me. So to the single individuals, you get to select preferential features of a person. You have to identify these traits. There are some
Mm-hmm.
people like Rico was saying that they're complainers. They will be like, "All right, yeah, I'm venting," but it becomes them. It becomes a a a, a trend of you complaining, complaining, and complaining, and you never offer a solution. Then you
Mm-hmm.
know is that something that you really want to deal with for the rest of your life? You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
for men, we, again, we live in a generation today and age where when you do appeal to your partner, especially if you're dating at such a tender stage in dating, if you reveal so much to your partner emotionally, or you be viewed as soft, or you be viewed
Mhm.
as less of a man. You can't be, like, that's a real fight today, where
Mhm.
it's like, women are climbing the corporate ladder, and men are trying to open up more. But we get ridiculed sometimes for confiding in our partner, our female counterparts, and it becomes a
Mhm.
thing of like battling that line of masculinity and trying to be honest or open. They ask you to open up, and then they slick away call you the B word,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is one of the most disrespectful things you can call a man.
Mhm.
So you have to know again how yoked you are at your core for your partner. And also you have to know who you are. I'm the type of
Mhm.
individual, I'm a cycle breaker, just like my father and my mother. We're a family full of breaking those habitual cycles that, we've as black people try to break, bad decision making, debt and all that other stuff, going, first time college graduate and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't
Good.
get the luxury
Mhm.
of sitting in misery. I don't get the
Mhm.
luxury of, you know, feeling sorry for myself for so long before I look up
Mhm.
in 5 years going down the road, I'm still broke. I don't have this.
Mhm.
So I don't need a partner who's going to allow that, as well.
Mhm.
So if ever I get caught in a weak moment, I need my partner to listen and hear me vent, but also
Mhm.
be like, all right, you've had enough time licking your
Yeah.
wounds. Don't
Yeah.
don't stay down there.
Mhm.
That is that I don't know what that component is called, but that's the X factor that really proves to me personally, um, that kind of partner is the type of person that I need in my life to help me improve, because that is one of my personal goals. So
Mhm.
you have to ask yourself, who do you want to be around, and who do you want to be? You want to be with a person that will allow and motivate and help mold you to be the type of person that you want to be, not the
Mhm.
type of person that they want you to be. A lot of women say, "Oh, I want me a six-figure man, and I want to be, the woman that I can bring something to the table," but all they got to bring to the table is looks and,
Come on.
the baby mama, something like that. I was like, all right, well, what truly do you have to bring to the table? You know what I mean? And half of these women don't even recognize a six-figure guy. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
we don't go out flashing money. We don't go
Yeah.
out riding in, you know, crazy cars that we can't afford. Six-figure
Mhm.
guys don't do that. So, you know, you want a woman that's going to cultivate you to being the type of person that you want to be, and that person will show you in your dating should show you in your dating stages.
Mhm.
You should not. Dating is a period in time where you get to know somebody, not just taking them out so they can enjoy themselves. So don't
Exactly.
let these women trick you into thinking like, I'm sorry to say against women or whatever, but don't be tricked into believing that dating is just for enjoyment. It is an opportunity where you get to know that person
Mhm.
and know what kind of person that they will be in your life. And once you realize that person is not for you, men, I cannot stress this enough. Move on.
Yeah.
Run away if you have to.
Yeah.
Because what we will do is get stuck in this
Mhm.
cycle just because we want something,
Mhm.
and be stuck on stupid. And then next thing you know,
Mhm.
you caught up being a baby daddy because you wanted
Wow.
something, and saw that this person was toxic for you,
Mhm.
and didn't and ignored the signs. Saw all the signs. She ratchet. She's loud. She's argumentative. She doesn't support you. She made bad financial decision. You saw all of this and you chose to do it anyway because you got a big butt. There's so many songs out there that says don't trust
Big
a big butt
butt.
and a smile.
Big butt. Baby hair and a smile. Big butt. Baby hair. I got to
Don't
say
trust it.
that. Exactly. Exactly.
Character means so much more. So
Absolutely.
that's the best advice I can give you.
Good deal. We got Cornelius. We got a couple of people on the line. Cornelius, he just called in. Good to have you, brother. Cornelius, how you doing this evening, brother? Cornelius? Cornelius, unmute your line. Unmute your line. While we're doing that, we got another caller going to come on, and this look, this is real men being men, but sometimes we get the ladies, they want to call in, they hear something and they get sparked and they want to hear something. But I'm gonna come to the young lady in 1 second. But first, I'm gonna go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart? Before you go, Leonard, hold on 1 second. Before we do any further, let me give the phone up. People asking for the number, and y'all know we're gonna stay on this square a little bit long. We can't get off this right now. We can't. The number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Phone lines are open. We're broadcasting up until 10. So give us a call. We got a couple other topics we're gonna try to get to tonight, but we're gonna stay here. We're gonna roll with this one for a minute because I think this is helping some people out there, and I think it's also helping the young ladies to get a better understanding as to who we as men are and what we want, what we're looking for, what we expect, and the situation that we have to endure as men, because maybe sometimes they just don't understand it. Leonard, I'm coming to you, and then I heard the young lady in the background. Hold on, lady, I'm coming to you. Hold on, now. I know you got something on your heart, but Leonard, what's on your heart?
I am really listening because to just listen to the experience of other men because I don't have this experience at all. I don't. The movie was cool. But that type of behavior is not in my character. So, to me, I was like, I can appreciate it because, man, if it gets me along in the bed with you.
Hey. Leonard, you took a left turn, brother. Next time, give us a signal. Give us a signal.
I'm just saying, I'm not that emotional. I'm just not. And I definitely wouldn't, if I had feelings, I wouldn't share them with a female. I would share them with my God.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, now watch this. We got the young lady on the line. Young lady, what's your name and where you calling from?
You already know this is K with an E from Kansas
That's my
City.
girl, K with an E.
From Kansas City. now, Kansas City, Kansas or Kansas City, Missouri?
Kansas City, Missouri, the show me state.
Oh, okay. I get you. Now, I know you've been listening and you chimed in after was in the midst of the conversation. So what's on your heart right now, sis? Talk to me.
I just heard the gentleman say that, what they expecting and we're just dating and all this stuff. I agree with him. I literally 100% agree with him. I have a friend I'm dating right now. Been dating for probably 6 months or so. We ain't even kissed. Literally. We just talk on the phone.
Y'all doing it the
We've
old
been out
school.
a couple of times.
Y'all doing it the old school.
We ain't kissed. He ain't tried to kiss me. None of that. Like, we're getting to know each other. We're friends first. We have to reach the friend level.
Watch this. Watch this.
So far, so good.
Now, Kay,
Perfect gentleman.
Kay, now
I was raised right.
Kay, I got to be silly. There's some points in this broadcast I got to be silly, right? You know that. You already know that. So here's the time. Now, don't tell us that y'all ain't never kissed and held hand when you in Kansas City, Missouri, and he living in California. That's too far. You can't reach each other. No,
he don't live that far from me at all.
I'm just being silly.
He ain't never been in my house.
Okay, that's good. I'm just being silly. But
look, you could be silly. That's okay.
5089.
We need to be heard out there.
Exactly.
So these other women of all ages, because we got an older woman met some guy on Facebook and she dead as a doorknob right now.
Wow.
So you got to learn to date.
Yeah, exactly.
Dating is not sex. You're not getting to know a person, getting in the bed with them.
And see, and you said something. You said something right there. Go ahead, Leonard. But you said something right there, Kate. You said something. Go ahead, Leonard.
I always remember what Kate said when I first heard her. Remember her coming into the conversation on the radio on DKM. And one thing she did mention that stuck into my head, that she has an ability to establish a relationship with a man without sex involved and to make that man do his best. And she not out here selling sex to every man that come around that say he want to be with you, he love you. She makes that man perform. And if he can't deal with it, he ain't the guy.
Exactly.
But
Wow.
she's not jumping in the bed with people
Mm-hmm.
expecting things to turn out okay. She getting to know people and people getting to know her. And if they want to do nice things for her, you understand, you should be doing it because you're a nice person, not because you want some things.
Mm-hmm. But see, y'all, man, look here, y'all about to get me started because y'all know I like to deal with both sides of the coin when I'm dealing with something, and a lot of times, that's all. In some situations, that's all people want. People just want, that's all they want. They don't want the longevity. They don't want all this and they don't want all that. They want to go somewhere, lay down, do the adult activities, the horizontal mumbo. That's what they want to do. And when it's over, get up, thank you, see you later. If it was okay, I'll see you later. If it wasn't, thank you, and get ghosted. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times, I got some of my boys. They'll tell stories, man. Look, I got with that girl, and I thought she was gonna be this, thought she was gonna be that. And I got some sisters that come to me, and everybody talk to me pretty good, pretty open. And they'll say, he been bragging about he this and he that and he. I said, well, I really don't want to hear about that. But when they feel comfortable enough, they'll talk to you. Rico, talk to me, man, because sometimes that's all they want. They just want the sex.
That's true. But sooner or later, it turns out to be, I'm gonna say, detrimental behavior.
Absolutely.
And so as you get older, that's when you're supposed to sort of realize and know better. I think I told somebody last week on the show, I can go back and pretty much account most of my bad decisions and most of my most dangerous times, all relating back to the source of some tail.
Mm-hmm.
My sexual organ.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I did. Most of my bad times, most of the money that I blew, most of the bad decisions that I made, it was all influenced behind the ultimate source of trying to get a woman or get some. That was the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
Got kids in the process, to be honest with you, thinking the wrong way, taking the wrong process. So as I was listening to Kay, I was thinking about courting. Because that's what it sounds like they're doing. Old school courting, you know what I'm saying? You just gonna stick talk out the front door and, you know what I'm saying, they stand out the porch or whatever. But I'm along with Leonard, man, because sometimes opening up can get you in trouble. Confiding in another person that can go back and use that in a malicious way. We call that pillow talking.
Yeah.
And most of the time it does come back to bite you, but that just really goes to show you the nature of a man really wanting somebody that he can open up and confide to. Really and truly, that's what most people's problem are. When you think about a person committing a crime, the biggest problem is confiding in somebody. Man, I can't sleep at night. I did this and that.
Yeah.
Confiding in the girlfriend. Might not be the wife, but might just be somebody that they wanted to get with a long time. They had a real huge crush on because they admired this person because of their looks or their beauty. They're so enthusiastic with this person to the point that when they get with them, they finally got with the dream girl. Now they open up and they start telling them deep, dark secrets. Now all of a sudden, this same woman coming back and telling all those deep, dark secrets that you went through. Who did this to you? Who did that to you? Girl, he really this and that. So, I mean, it really can come back to bite you.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in a situation where you are looking for that person that you can just say, okay, now let me just spill it all. Hope that this woman, number one, is open-minded and at the same time somewhat has some class. That's one of the biggest parts of character that I like is the class about a woman. And so you have to be real particular on that. But it was funny when you brought that up about Boys in the Hood, man, because every time I saw Boys in the Hood, I saw something totally different. Because I know that sometimes a man can be in a situation and he could use that as an opportunity to get some sympathy.
Yeah.
Some people call it sympathy sex. You know what I'm saying? It might have, sometimes you might not even intend on getting the sex, but just so happens this woman happens to be around when you become vulnerable, and for some reason she sympathized with you in that way. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. That's the perfect moment. You might fall in love just off of that moment, going off of emotion. But I felt like Trey went over there with an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
when he went down, boy, he went to smell of that nectar. I saw him take a good whiff. When he took a whiff, man, them tears dried up real fast, boy. He looked like Pepe Le Pew. He was like,
That's all I got out of it, Rico. That's all I got out of it, bro.
Lord, here we go. Here we go, boy. I tell
you
you.
shouldn't have bought no movie to it. You were good till you bought the movie to it. I was telling you, when you bought that movie, that boy said, she ready.
Here we go. Look. Whoa. Whoa, wait a minute now. We might be on a little something here. We might be on a little something. Hey Leonard, turn your volume down just a little bit, Leonard. Your volume is a little high today. Turn your volume
down. Hey, y'all, guess what? My friend just called me and said, look up chicken and waffles. Figure out what you want to eat. Call me back and I'll DoorDash it to you.
He working. He working to get some.
Like he's a sugar daddy.
DoorDash ain't sugar daddy, but it's nice though.
Okay, it's a nice gesture, and
it's a nice gesture.
Tell him put some roses in that too. You know, you put the roses right beside the little food and all kind of.
If he thought he could, he would, but he can't.
It
sounds good though.
It sounded
those are blessings. Those are blessings from how I present myself.
Okay, there you go. I could go with that. I can applaud that, and I hope everything works out fine. I hope in a year or so I'll be coming to a wedding. I come to Missouri for a wedding now. I come up there for a wedding.
It's gonna take a year to be friends.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go. Let's go to our phone lines, man. And the phone lines are open. If anybody want to be a part of the conversation, you're more than welcome to give us a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Cornelius, are you with us, Cornelius?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, good deal. Came to you earlier. I think you might have got a little busy. I know you're at work, brother, so I definitely appreciate you coming in and being a part of what we're talking about. We're talking about money, looks, and character. What is most important? Money, looks, or character? Money, looks, or character. Oh. What is more important to you?
Okay.
What is more important to you? When you look at a young Cornelius, what was more important for you when you was looking for a significant other? What was more important?
When I was younger?
Yes.
Oh wow. Looks.
I see you, Don.
Yeah, I was more focused on looks and money. But those are the main two. But the main one was money. Yeah, it was more so money when I was younger.
Okay.
But now but now in these days and time, it's character. You know, when you're talking about, I think because from what I'm gathering from the conversation that's been going on, as I'm listening to everybody, y'all talking about relationships, right?
Yes, sir.
Another man talking to a woman. Okay. So one thing that really stood out to me as I've been listening to everybody, and when you talk about what men should look for, because it's not always the case. But just my perspective and my own personal opinion coming from this, and I really believe that they should be looking for more so a support system instead of an enabler. Because a lot of men, if you ever notice, I remember when we were coming up, and that's when video games was taking over the scene. You get a lot of these women, and I know that there's an old saying, women mature faster than men. I really truly believe that, because as I noticed over the years, women know how to go out and get theirs. They know how to get a house, they know how to get a car, they know how to get all this stuff before even men step up to start doing these things. And a lot of women I've seen over the years, that I've had a lot of female friends, they would become enablers instead of support systems. Because the man to be sitting at home chilling, playing video games and doing whatever, hanging out on the corner, when the woman up there going to work, taking care of the house, taking care of the kids, and then this joker sitting up on the couch doing nothing. So that's an enabler.
Yeah.
But a support system is a woman that's willing to when a man is out there trying to make things successful and build his home, she's there to support him in whatever need. Now, in saying that, that doesn't necessarily mean that she gonna cow down to everything. But what she should, what I've learned is that look, I'm supporting you in what you're trying to do, and we're gonna help build on whatever we got, what you're trying to build on, and that's a support system. Because a lot of men, we miss that part, and we more focus on the physical instead of the moral character and building a foundation of something. And that is so key when you're trying to build a home. You need a support system, a communication in relationships, and know where we at instead of being a neighbor. That's just something that's what my opinion or perspective on what was being said so far tonight.
Good deal, good deal. And this is called Full Square Conversation. And like I said in the beginning, I warned y'all we might stay here all night. But it depends on how the conversation goes. Leonard, now better yet, I got another call. Let me go to my other caller before I come to you, Leonard. Curtis, good evening, sir. Tell everybody who you are and where you're hailing from.
What's up, family? This Kurt hailing from where I'm hailing from, huh? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you didn't. I'm hailing from Charles City, Maryland, man. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore in the house. Stand up.
Come on now.
Raven Nation, stand up.
Oh, we got some for y'all. We got some for y'all Sunday, but we'll talk about that off air. But Curtis, what do you say,
yes,
man?
Sir.
What do you say? Money. Look, I see you over there, Don. Money, looks, or character. A young Curtis, what was more important, and have that changed now that you're more mature when you're looking for a mate? What was more important?
No, hey man, you know what, man? I thank God each and every day that I had Sadia, Magdalena, McNeil, Pastor Minnie L, Minnie Lee Stanley, and Annie Merrill McNeil or Annie Merrill Sneed in my life. Because all of those women raised predominantly men, and they always taught me not to give a rat's booty what a woman look like. Because gravity will take its toll. They always taught me that no matter what I do, no matter who I did it with, but don't waste my time with a woman that don't have the same character, or character does not at least on a surface level match mine. So I never looked at women for example, having a nice butt or having breasts or having money. I never looked for women to have. My grandma always told me, my grandma Minnie, she always told me that ain't no real woman ever gonna be broke, baby. So I don't know why you looking for it. You supposed to already know that day. Ain't no woman supposed to be broke. She tell me that all the time. Ain't no woman supposed to be broke, right? So I never really looked for money. Body and all that. I never looked for that either, because in my mind, that was something that could fade away. I've always looked for character, man. It's always been number one in my book. And a lot of times in my neighborhood, you know how in your neighborhood, just like you had a dude that's sleeping with a bunch of girls, there's a girl that's sleeping with a bunch of dudes. There never was one to really go for that one.
Yeah. Exactly.
I never sensed that. I never had a feeling of accomplishment by going for that one. I hate
So
to make
Curtis,
it sound like that.
So Curtis, let me go ahead and ask you the question, brother. You ain't never went for the big butt, baby hair, and a smile.
That never ever hit me. You know why? I'm just gonna keep it real. All right, can I be transparent for a minute?
Let's talk. This is real men being men now. Come on, let's talk.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you one of my biggest turnoffs, bro, is I can't stand the smell of weave.
Wow.
I cannot stand the smell. It's got a funny type of smell. I don't know if anybody ever smelled it, but if a woman got a cheap weave in her hair, it has a specific odor. Like it's not. If it's glued in, I don't know if it's the glue, if it's the weave, or if maybe the glue is not really matching up with the enzymes that's released from the hair follicles, the sweat in your head.
Mm-hmm.
But it smells horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It smells horrible. So that's never really. Now I ain't gonna lie, I'm a dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pleasing to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But I've just never been into that. And my other grandmama, God rest her soul, used to always tell me, now, you know that big butt and the smile, now you know that costs money, yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold right there, Curtis. Let me pull some more people in. We got another call. I think we have another caller on the line. Let me see who we have here. 516 area code. 516 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's 561 Grace Ferry, Canton, Eustis, Florida.
Hey, Grace, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing well, and I need to ask you this question. Money, looks, and character. We're talking about money, looks, and character. What do you think most people look for when they're looking for a significant other? And does it change as you advance and become more mature in living? Does your expectations change?
I think these things go through stages just like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You grow, you mature, you realize things, you finally settle on something. So you're talking about money, looks, and character.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just tell you that for the past few years, I would say less than 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
This has been the first time in history that African American women have really had the resources, the variety to look really nice. By the same token, it's also I guess you could say this is the first time that they've really begun to make a decent salary. Past 60 to 70 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that's two, but the third one, character, is the one that stands out most, because this is really what presents a person, regardless of their income and their looks,
Mm-hmm.
to the world. This is what young men look for when they are looking for wives. They want to have nice looking women and things of this sort, but what they really want is character. Men marry character
Mm-hmm.
rather than looks or money, because
That's good.
you can build on character, and it also it spreads, it permeates, it multiplies. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So my point is, of the three, character is the greatest of these. You know, like the greatest of these is love.
Mm-hmm.
So that it doesn't matter what they put on.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have character, it's bad news.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good.
By the same token, they might be unemployed or may not be working in a job that is up to their standards, or something of this sort. But if they have that character, it magnifies, it glows like
Mm-hmm.
a lighthouse in the dark.
Come on.
And that's exactly what attracts the young men to the young women. You
Mhm.
see?
Absolutely. Hey, Miss
That's
Grace.
my take on it.
Miss Grace, I'm loving you right now, Miss Grace. That's beautiful what you said. That is absolutely beautiful,
Okay.
and that's truth. That's that right there is anchored in truth. Don, what do you say to that, brother? I mean, that's truth right there, man. But Don, let me go another direction with you, man. The younger generation, the generation that's below us, are they
Yeah.
built? Are they built the same way? Are they looking for the same attributes that that we were looking for, that same character, or is that big butt, baby hair and a smile, is that enough for them?
I mean, I think they take a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are some timeless truths to life
Mm-hmm.
in general, and Grace said it best. There are stages in life, and people tend to, grow through those stages. And one of the basic truth is that that group, they're a little bit more ambitious than the earlier group. They
Mm-hmm.
they kind of want it all. They want the looks. They want the financial presence. Social media drives a lot of what they want, and it's out there everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can't really tell real from fake, and it's a little bit more difficult these days. So
Mm-hmm.
um, it's really interesting. Like, I would say, you have to be real with yourself and know what your inequities are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no point of finding someone with character and down the road you get a divorce because you don't find her attractive. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
some people hang up is, I could not be aroused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that's just one of the sad truths. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that you have to approach it from an individual standpoint, but there are some truths to that, because, like, you we look at the stage that we're in, right? Your dating group at that point, at a younger stage, you're dating women. What they want is a guy who is an alpha male, a guy
Mm-hmm.
who seems to have it together, and 9 times out of 10, that winds up being, women dating a guy probably 5 years older than them. If
Mm-hmm.
you're just graduating high school, you're 18 as a female, you're probably dating a 25-year-old guy that, like you said, women are more mature than guys. So the,
Mm-hmm.
the the guys that are the women ages, they're too immature. They can't grasp certain concepts and stuff like that. But the guy that's 5 years ahead, has a job, has income, can, date you, court you the way you feel like you want to be, and kind of be ahead of you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of touches bases back on what Leonard was stating earlier. That alpha male thing is something really serious, that women need a guy that could actually lead them. No
Mm-hmm.
woman wants to run over a man. So,
Absolutely.
and today you have women gradually progressing in life in general more so than men, and what you wind up having is it's very easy for a woman to run over these guys these days.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be strong, you have to know what you want, you have to know who you are, um, and not settle, because
Mm-hmm.
you had those ones who, on the opposite end of it, you had women chasing guys who were, oh, he got the six packs and abs and da da da. He looks good, and got their heart broken over and over and over again. And then
Mm-hmm.
they settle down for a wholesome guy who finally treats them right, which there's nothing wrong with that. But you have the opposite, guys chasing a woman who's like, got the big butt and the smile and all that jazz and look
Mm-hmm.
good and whatever, don't have any substance to them,
Mm-hmm.
heartbroken, damaged. They become damaged goods, basically. And
Mm-hmm.
then they look for a partner in life that can actually deal with that, and help fix that, or mend that, or cope with that. And it's slim picking at that point. You
Mm-hmm.
can't, you got all of these damaged items that you've allowed that chase to give you, and now
Mm-hmm.
you're seeking a partner that is willing to put up with you at that point in your life, even though you now are on the right path of looking for something good or quality. It's like you have to get over all those issues that you got damaged earlier, like all the trauma that particular female in your younger years. You're paying for all of the stuff in your younger years, so you got to deal with all that stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's absolutely true. I would say we're ambitious. We want all of the above. I don't see myself ever becoming unattractive to my female, but I would say if you aim for the stars, you'll land somewhere comfortably. You get somebody who you are physically attracted with, because let's be real, we're men, we're physical beings. We're gonna go from outside in, and
Mm-hmm.
starting from the outside, we're gonna get to know you. That's how we're gonna approach you. We are not
Mm-hmm.
gonna approach somebody that you know, just out and about, and you don't have any sense of like, oh, this interests me about her. If you don't
Mhm.
find her attractive at any form of fashion, at least for you, your individual preference. Mine is like, I like the little geeky girl who seems smart, glasses or whatever the case may be, but subtle. You know, not a lot
Mhm.
of like, get out of here. And my
Hey there.
wife, she has come and say hey, come on. She just been sneaking in on the camera. My
Hey there, how you
natural
doing?
beauty queen.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
young lady.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so but you have some hangups. Some people like it. So if you like
Mhm.
it, you know, do what makes you happy. I'm not
Exactly.
a person who will date a girl that has them big old eyelashes that be like this and the long nail. I can't do
Mhm.
that. It
No.
works for some people. I don't knock it. Do
Yeah.
you? But
Mhm.
it's just not for me. But outside of that, if you cute enough, I will approach you. If you got
Mhm.
a good personality, I will stay. If you have financial sense, then we're a team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, talk to me, and Leonard coming to you next. What's on your heart, Rico?
I like what Miss Grace said. You know, that I had been itching, you know what I'm saying, to get this word out, and she said it. And I'm gonna repeat it again: the standards,
Mm-hmm.
those moral standards. You know, when I was younger, I went for looks first, but then at the same time, education was a very close second. Education and hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, most of the time I dealt with the women or the girls that were pretty, but at the same time they were ambitious and enthusiastic in school. They achieved. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like no dumb girl. If she was in special ed or slow or was promiscuous, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? But it was a look, and so it was like character was mixed in with that. But the money part of it was the minor end of it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so as I got older, I started realizing more that that look thing actually is what messed me up. And see what really messed up things for me and probably for a lot of males is the fact that when you start off wrong, being perverted,
Mm-hmm.
you can start putting the physical attributes first. That would always be a measuring stick. And don't get me wrong, you have got to be attracted to who you're attracted to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as I got older, I started finding out that after a while, even when you were with that attractive person, that's gonna die down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
what do you have to have? You know, after you talk to this person. So, you know, I started looking more for person for people, like I said, that I would look for somebody that has a moral standard, somebody that's respectful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can have somebody that understands that financial success, but are they nasty and mean and got an attitude with it? Are
Mm-hmm.
they uppity?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they balanced? Or do they act like they still are human and that they respect people regardless of what level they're on? Because I've
Mm-hmm.
met, you know, different people, men and women, that once they get to a certain place, then they start feeling like, you know, you got to meet that same standard. And
Mm-hmm.
all kind of moral standards leave out the door. All
Mm-hmm.
kind of ethics, you know, all the respect leaves out the door. So they start surrounding themselves with people that may do unsavory things. As a matter of fact, that I think the brother was saying earlier about, you know, the man being able to provide for a woman, but that was a mindset at one point in time that was necessary, and it's understood a man needs to provide for a woman. But now in today's time, this atmosphere that we have today is more of a finding a man that can do the things for you that you want to get done.
Mm-hmm.
They can supply the things that you need and do
Exactly.
take you places that you want to go. So that the
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere has changed. It's not the same, and then everybody wants it so fast. So
Mm.
you throw the
Right.
looks in with it, and
Yep.
then at the same time they want the clout, they want the image, they want the success. So they're moving real quick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you have to dig a lot deeper than that. Now, like Don said a second ago, if you can go along with the looks and you could deal with just having a airhead,
Mm.
then go ahead with get you a beautiful airhead, somebody
Yeah.
that can just be arm candy. But you know, for the most part, I would hope that you would want somebody that could be an asset and somebody that was also a partner. If something went wrong with you, you could depend on them to carry on your business.
Mm-hmm. And my uncle, I had an uncle, man. He's gone home to glory now, man. But he always told me even when I was younger, and Leonard, come to you right quick, and he always told me, he said, "Look here," and y'all might have heard me say this before. Don't you never bring no beautiful food here. Don't bring no beautiful food here. And at a young age, I didn't understand what he meant. Man, I'm gonna go out there trying to get him. I'm trying to get him, Rico. I'm trying to get him. He telling me that don't you bring no beautiful food here. And as I grew older, I started to understand what he was talking about, because I had a couple of beautiful fools, man. The girl dumb as a bag of rocks, but I ain't gonna talk about. I ain't gonna call their name on here tonight. Rick, I'm sorry, Leonard. What's on your heart, brother?
Say their name.
Hey, I'm just listening because I'm more of a good time type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like to have a good time, and I like to have somebody like to have a good time with me.
Mm-hmm.
If the chemistry is there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what tomorrow holds. So, if you're just as decent person as I am, and you have the same moral values as I have, I don't see a problem with a commitment. You ain't gonna be with somebody you don't like looking at.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't make sense, would it? Or it's not gonna work. So to each his own.
Yeah.
I believe that we should be able to be truthful with one another and be honest up front before anything. What I don't like, and I see what the problem is, how you got all these standards for somebody else and you ain't got none. I mean, if you got yourself together, you should be attracting things like you.
Talk about it, Leonard.
Yeah.
That's what's most important, is that you're attracting people like you. Are you surrounding yourself with people like you that do the things you like to do? Or was you just pulling up what you saw walking down the street? My father's whole conversation about, I guess it would be birds and the bees. One day somebody gonna tell me that story, because I have no idea what that means. What is that story? Or has anybody heard the story of the birds and the bees? I still don't know what that means. But this is all my father told me. This little girl used to ride a bike around the corner to play with me, right? So one day my father's looking out the window and he says, "Come here. You do know what that's for, don't you?" Yes, sir. She's just a friend, though. Be just friends if that's what it is. People have problems because they're lying to each other.
Yeah.
And they're not being honest. I think that's the biggest problem. Most women would appreciate your honesty. If it's just let's hang out for the weekend, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Why can't you just, I don't believe in monogamous relationships unless they're established. Not just, I thought we was just with one. Why would you think that?
Who told you that?
Yeah, who told you that? When did we talk about that? So if you don't leave room for that type of thing to happen, I think that you'll be okay. But sometimes I think it's gotten out of hand. Personally, looking from the outside in, people just want so much, but they never talk about what they're going to give.
That's right.
That's good.
Good. Boy, you just said a mouthful right there, boy.
Yes, sir. I'm going to play this quick little clip right now. But tell you with this woman, and Leonard said, "Don't nobody want to be with nobody that they're not attracted to." My thing is this right here. You tell your girl, "Look, go in there and make me a plate, but don't put it too close to your face because it might spoil my food." She that ugly.
Something wrong with you.
Don, it's okay, brother. I ain't got good sense, man. Listen, I'm gonna play this clip, and I want you all to comment on this.
This full disclaimer: if y'all listen, y'all, if y'all in the dating phase, do not use that joke on your.
Please don't. Please don't.
Don't put my food too close to your face. That's about to spoil my food. Listen, I'm gonna play this clip, and I haven't viewed this clip, and I hope it's clean. It's from this one of the Steve Harvey situations that he had, And so I'm gonna play it, and I want Miss Grace. I'm gonna come to you next because it's a young, excuse me, it's actually a young lady that's talking. And so I'm gonna come to you, then I'm gonna go to Kay, and then I'm gonna circle around. I want everybody to tell me what they think about this little situation right here. Again, I have not seen it, so y'all bear with me.
Let's talk to Angela, who's afraid she may be sending mixed messages. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Steve. Here's my question. I went on a date with a friend of mine, and after the date, I knew pretty much wasn't going to go anywhere, and I just wanted to be friends. But he still thought that there might be a chance for us to have a relationship, and so I cleared that up again. But he still tries to ask things about my relationships.
You can't look at him.
He's going to be awesome for somebody.
He hard to look at.
But I didn't
Answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my, because you answer this question right here, we can stop this right here. When you look at him, do you have to blink a lot of times? When he talk to you, do you find yourself just looking away, trying to catch your breath? You thought, because of what he does for a living, that you might be able to tolerate it, didn't you? Yes, ma'am. Let's just have a real conversation. You listen, you listen to me. I'm really good at this. You thought that if I just went and ate with him, maybe I could just deal with it because it looked like he's going somewhere. But you sat there, he talking, he chewing with his mouth open. Then you started noticing there was a space back here. You just don't want to date the ugly man. That's what it is.
I don't want to date him for me, but I do want to be his friend, and I want him to understand that, and I don't want any questions about what I want to do with somebody.
Listen to me. It's hard to run an ugly man off. Tell you. When we are ugly, we don't go away easy because we don't have a whole lot of shots. So when we get there with somebody, an attractive girl like yourself, we got to ride it out. What he gonna try to do now is a technique he's using. He gonna try to wear you down. He gonna try to wear you down until you just see his potential, and then maybe you just start not worrying about the fact that his nose is cocked off to the side. And that gap in the tooth really ain't that big. You can get another tooth put in there. You just don't want to date the ugly man.
All right, Miss Grace, what did you hear in that?
The first thing you're going to do is do a strength assessment.
Hold on, sorry about that, Miss Grace. What did you hear in that? She said she don't want to date the ugly man.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair of her to judge his physical appearances because God made everybody, and he made them that way for a reason. The young man may have something more to offer than all the other men that she knows combined. You see what I'm saying? So as a result, if he has something to offer, and I don't mean finances here, he might have the kind of education, the kind of character. He might like the arts or something like this. He takes her to nice places, nice dinners, the museum, educational places. If she has any sense at all, she will recognize this and say, you know what? He is offering me more than the other guys combined. Look at the places he takes me, the things we talk about, the things we do, how he makes me feel as a person. So that covers it. It shadows all of what she looks at physically for him, because she may not be a diamond herself. You know, she might look very nice or something of this sort, but diamonds are very, very hard to cut, and they're extremely difficult to get accurate. You have really got to know what you're doing. My point is, when you look at a person it's not fair to judge how they look, but rather what they bring to the table. And that's really what the average young woman wants. She wants to be secure in their relationship. If they get married, she wants to make sure that he can take care of her. If they have children, she wants to make sure that she can sit down and he works and still provides for the family and everything. So that if he does all of this and she walks away from it, she is stone crazy, and he needs to leave her alone. Because what he brings to the table is his offering. It says a lot about his character. She knows she can trust him. She can believe what he is going to do, and she doesn't have to worry.
Exactly.
One biblical reference: the Shulamite woman back in Kings in the Bible, in the Old Testament. She was at home when Elijah the prophet came by with his servant, and her husband was in the field working, and she told him, why don't we build a little room on the side of our house so that the man of God can rest when he and his servant comes by? And so he did. So the man said to her, you don't have any children? She says, I live among my own people. He said, you don't have? He says, well, I tell you what, next year, this time you're going to have a son. She did. The son died. The man is still in the field. She doesn't go down to tell her husband that his son is dead. She goes to the man of God and she says, hey, look, you told me I was going to have a son. I don't have a son anymore because he's dead. The man comes back up there with his servant. He lays on the son. The son comes back to life after his prayer, and he takes the boy up and says, here is your son back. Now, can you imagine what the husband thought when that lady told him when he got home that evening from the field, hey, look, your son was dead, and now you're looking at him? You see what I'm saying? So that man, he had something to provide for that lady. If she hadn't been home, she wouldn't have seen him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So my point is this: when someone brings something to the table, the best thing to do is to consider what it is and judge from that rather than physical character.
Exactly. That's good.
Yes, physical character.
That's good. That's good. Man, we got it's so many different layers we could go with this. And Don, I'm gonna come to you in a minute, but I'm gonna go right now to Kate. Yes.
Right here.
Yes, sir.
Man, that was a drop the mic moment.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on, man.
Yes,
Drop
sir.
the mic.
Look at look. And I'm gonna tell you something.
You supposed to have the sound in cue. Drop the mic.
and I'm gonna tell you something. Kurt, normally I would be a little goofy, but that was so serious I couldn't even be goofy because I was gonna say something silly, man. But I couldn't even follow up with what she just said with something silly. I couldn't do it, man. Kay, what's on your heart?
Well, I do it for you. That queen just dropped the mic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kay, what's on your heart?
I'm going to say I agree with her. Like, it ain't nothing I can say. I'm going to go back to who asked about the birds and the bees. That's just explaining about sex. That's all. Telling them kids about having sex. That's how the birds and the bees is. You know what you're about to get yourself into. That's how it's come down and talking about the birds and the bees. Like,
exactly.
It's more to that than just laying down having sex. There's a lot come behind that.
Yes,
so if a lot of parents have that talk with their kids, we wouldn't be on here having this real talk with real men.
Exactly. Cornelius, what's on your heart, brother? Cornelius, you there? Cornelius, you there? Okay, we'll come back to Cornelius. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
It's that particular piece.
I'm here, Raheem, but that's okay. I'll wait.
Okay, I'll come back to you next.
That we listen to, it's going to be her loss and someone else's gain.
That's right. That's right.
It's going to be her loss and someone, and if she'll learn eventually when she's dated enough beautiful men that gave her nothing, she'll understand value. By chasing after looks, she's going to really wind up probably in situations she's like, you know what, man, now what I'm going to do, because that's what I call bait. And men are very good at putting bait out there, just like women, and you wind up getting something else. The bait and switch.
Yes, sir.
My mother used to say about men who look too good that don't have women, because they're not interested in women.
Yep.
Plain and simple as that. Because she guarantees you there are women, several women interested in him just because of that. And then he got a good job and some money.
Yeah.
That's not for you. So don't try to force yourself on guys that really don't want you, and overlook guys that are treating you with value.
That's right.
Wow. That's good. Talk to me, Don.
Oh man, there's so many layers to that one.
How you doing?
Oh, hey Don, hold
I'm
Don, hold
just tuning in, so I really don't even know what our discussion is.
Okay, hold on. We got two Dons over here. We got. I'm gonna call you Carlos. I'm gonna call you Mr. Carlos. We got Don.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, but Don, hold on. I said I was gonna go to Cornelius first. I forgot about that. Excuse me, brother. Cornelius, what's on your heart? Cornelius?
I was trying to tap my mute. Sorry for the delay.
No, you're fine.
I was just thinking about some things. I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite shows of all time back in the day was Family Matters. And you remember how Urkel used to always chase Laura. And back then, in those days, Laura was the be-all. She was the pretty girl.
Yeah.
And this nerdy-looking, ugly-looking child chased that girl from they were children all the way till they got grown, and he finally got her. Was persistent and ended up marrying her at the end of the show. And I know it's all, I know that's all movie stuff, but at the end of the day, or television stuff, but the whole moral behind that was his persistence is always complimenting her. He was always, one thing I learned about when it comes down to men and women, if you can make a woman laugh and just always make her feel good about herself, you got a real good shot to winning that woman. And that's something that I really loved about Family Matters and different things like that. He was the be-all, the guy that was so unattractive but chased the pretty girl, and she was dating all the nice-looking guys. And remember when he played that other part, Stefan, which was the classy model and all that stuff. He dressed nice and everything, but he ended up winning her over him. And that's something that where if you can make a woman smile, constantly complimenting her and being there for her when she needed someone to talk to, those things women do not forget. And they will always remember that. And if you just continue to be persistent and be there for them, whether you're ugly or unattractive or not, they will learn to appreciate you and will remember you when the time comes. And that's something that I really loved and learned through Family Matters, how the unattractive young man end up getting the very gorgeous young lady. And Urkel had something going on for himself. And when she really finally realized, like, man, he's been doing this and he's been doing that, and he started dressing nicer and growing up more maturely as a young man to a mature man, it started really showing him. It started revealing himself to her, and that was so key. So I just want to add that to that.
Now, did he get her? Did he get her as Steve Urkel or Stefan?
Yeah, Stefan,
yeah. Yeah, because like I said, he had to change. He changed his little demeanor. He turned into Stefan. And hey, let's go to
Stefan ended up, remember, he was the one. He was the dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And Urkel ended up beating him out, man.
Yep, exactly. Beat old Stefan out. Let me go to as a matter of fact, we had Toussaint. Toussaint, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
And I'm trying to make $1 out of 50 cents.
I told you about that, man. You would cut that mess out, man. Leave the people money alone.
Yeah.
But look at
whatever works.
Exactly. Tucson, what's on your heart? You've been listening to what we're talking about for a minute, brother. What's on your heart right now?
No, you know what? I got kind of in a point where when my sister started talking, I was like, okay, sure, Mike woman, I'm gonna have to really dig into that one after. That kind of set the stage on a different perspective. So, yeah. But anyway, hey, you know, I get confused sometimes because it's a difference in wanting somebody to provide and you want your companion to also be your sugar daddy. Does that even make any sense? Before I even go any further with that, because some
go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying to you because you get to the point that you do all you possibly can, and it's like, what more do you want? And I mean, I know that we're supposed to provide, but there are some things that are unnecessary. Especially trying to keep up with the fashion, and you know you ain't got a good $100, $200 in your bank account, but you want a $500 purse. So I ain't gonna say too much more. I don't know how deep y'all got into a conversation, so that's all I'm throwing out there, and I'm gonna shut my mouth. That's it.
Good deal. Carlos, what's on your heart, sir?
Good evening again, everybody. I'm just listening, trying to tune into what the question is, and I'm sorry, but I just don't know what the question is exactly.
Okay, well, let me take you back to the beginning. We're talking about money, looks, or character. Money, looks, or character. What is the most important? What should be the most important characteristics when looking for a significant other?
And you're trying to choose between those three?
Yes.
Money, looks, or obviously, it's got to be character. I mean, not that you don't want that you don't want some of the others, the characteristics, but character has got to be the most important thing, because the character is the only thing that's going to survive through the hardships and through the dealings in life. You know, the money comes and goes. We know that the beauty comes and goes as well. You know. But the character is what survives. Of course, at the same time, a guy is not looking for an ugly woman, and a woman is not looking for an ugly dude. You know, but I think what that word ugly means is really not. It's more relative than anything else, because that can change once you get to know somebody. You know. That person that you might fall in love with, that you thought you never would fall in love with because of the way they look, you know, will turn out to be somebody different because of character. So character, I believe, will speak louder than any of those other things. That character really, really will, because character means this is somebody gonna hang in there with you. You know, sometimes the pretty girl not gonna hang in there with you. Sometimes the pretty boy is not going to hang in there with the woman, because they used to being pretty boys and pretty girls. You know. But when you got somebody who's going to stick by you regardless, you know, your ride or die, that's a whole different thing. And not even to mention money. Like I said earlier, money is, you know, we know even if we had a lot of money at one time in our lives, or we never had it, you have a little money. You know, it's kind of like Paul learned how to be content in all circumstances, because money is nothing but just a little commodity that can come and go just like this.
Exactly.
And money does not change who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can allow it to change who you are, but it does not. Money does not change. Money does not bespeak your character.
Mm-hmm. That's
your
good.
Character is more important than money.
Absolutely. Now, Leonard, did you hear the elder on here talking about ride or die? Did you hear that, man?
Look, he know what that means. Why are you hating? Why are you trying to make fun of somebody?
Oh man, look here. I heard him, man. Man, look. He said ride or die. That's elder. That's the elder right there.
That's been out. That was out before you, Raheem. Really?
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm just saying. But Leonard, where are you with this conversation, man? Because we've covered a lot, and we are actually stayed with this one square the whole night. But there's so many different layers that we can cover. And that young lady, man, and like somebody said, she's gonna miss out because of the fact that she's overlooking this guy because he don't quote unquote look a certain way. Like Miss Gray said, man, he could have everything else that she needs, everything else that she's looking for. A person don't control you. You can't when you're born, you can't go to a supply closet and say, give me this, or I want to look like this. You can't do that. A person has no control over what they look like, whether they're this or they that, they fat, they tall, they short. You don't have any control. He had no control over that.
Well, I mean, and I think it's like I said, you spoke to me about it before. I think sometimes things get out of perspective. They're people who cater to the physical, and that is exactly what they get. That is what they into. That is why they buying all this stuff and changing their bodies and making themselves look a certain way, and all these other types of things. I'm a type of person that goes with feeling. If it feels right, that's what's important. What do you really want? What are you looking for? You got some people, it's just an excuse not to find something. How you dating 40, 50 people and ain't nobody good enough, ain't nobody on your level, ain't nobody this. No, you got a problem. You're the problem.
Exactly.
It can't be everybody else.
That's right.
What are the odds of it being everybody else?
Everybody except you.
So one, you should be with someone who you're naturally drawn to. And I think that's the best judge, because I can't take your opinion for who I want to be with for the rest of my life.
That's right.
Why would I take your opinion if I'm the person that got to live with them? What may be cute, what may be attractive to Don may not be what's attractive to me.
Yeah.
I know, I never understood why, say for instance, this whole culture now of women who are overweight. Who told y'all men hated overweight women?
That's right.
I mean, I don't understand where that came from. That was an internal thing. Because there are plenty of men whom I know love larger women.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you go find one of those men?
They're out there.
There's lots of them. So, I hear this message just trying to drive people into a frenzy. Like, ain't nobody out there for them, and all these women. Oh, he can't handle me, and he can't. You know what? Be by yourself. Because that's what's best. If you all that, be by yourself. Since you all that.
Misery Love Company, go join it. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
It sort of make me think of that comedian on Saturday Night Live. Y'all know that big tall female.
My girl Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. She's been in the headlines lately for making this same statement that men don't find her attractive. It's hard for her to date. It's hard for her to find men. And it's funny, man, because we'll say that we don't put looks first, but at the same time, the people that's really having a hard time dating will tell you that a lot of people are still putting looks first. Then we have to dig deep inside. I can honestly say that there are some people out there so ugly that I just ain't gonna date them.
Good Lord.
Scary ugly. It ain't no way. It almost make me sick to my stomach, even if I try to imagine myself having to be with them. I'd be like, good Lord. But at the same time, somebody else might find them attractive. So I'm just being honest, even though we're on here talking, I'm mature.
Good Lord.
At the same time, it's still gonna be some situations where looks will be one of the impact or influences. of whether or not I'm going to talk to this person. So yeah, you have got to be attracted to a person, but it's real indicative of how society is now. That is the atmosphere that exists. That's why let us say that about heavyset women. Well, at one point in time, it was hard to find a heavyset woman on TV that was looked at in an attractive manner. It finally took somebody that was brave enough to say, "Here, accept all this. I don't care." Same thing is with the transsexuals. Same thing is with all these other people that are now finding a platform and finding other people that's coming out and saying, "Okay, I'm with this too." So that's really the reason why that was a problem with the women that was trying so hard to lose weight. I can remember when I was young, I remember hearing women talking about taking yellow jackets or something like that. They were Phenadrins. This was in the late 70s, early 80s, man. And they could go and get these pills from these doctors, man, that would make them lose weight. Now, if I ain't mistaken, they're against the law. But that was the thrill. Everybody wanted to be built like Linda Carter. Everybody wanted to be built like Jane Kennedy. Pam Grier. They wanted that body. They didn't have Mama Cass as a sex symbol. See, it's those stereotypes that were put in place that made people value that superficial thing called looks so much.
I'm gonna tell you, and one of the things to your point, man, and I really admired her for doing this. But Monique, when she opened up for the BET Award, and she had all the big girls up there, man, doing the Beyonce, I was like, man, look at that, man. That can't nobody tell me they can't do that, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the best openers that BET Awards ever had, man. That's one of the best openers that they had, and because they did that, man. They really did that.
Don't get me wrong, I ain't with Lizzo. Lizzo going a little bit overboard. Y'all know who Lizzo is, right?
Yeah, we know.
She's doing a little too much.
Don, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? Don W.
Oh man. Hey, Lizzo gonna get you for that, Rico.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
and she listening.
And it boils down to like it's a personal internalized viewpoint of yourself. You had Stephon Curry wife, not feeling so great about herself, and she a 10, you know what I mean? She was like, I feel some type of way because men don't look at me in that, and she's like one of the most attractive people out there. So I mean, it starts at a personal problem, but at the end of the day, on that video that you showed, man, I feel like it's unfair. I would almost feel like it's unfair to the guy that she still want to be friends and reap the benefits of having that person in her life while she pursue her own happiness. But I don't knock her for being upfront with him. She gave him the disclaimer that, hey, I'm not attracted to you, and that if you want to continue being friends, we can be friends. But I think ultimately it's about what makes you happy. Like, I don't agree with her settling for this guy because he checks all the boxes of being a good dude, and that's what she feel like she's supposed to do. But she gets married to this guy, and now she's depressed and unattracted to this guy and can't live happily because she's not attracted to this guy. She might wind up stepping out on her marriage or stepping out on him because of that component. So be yourself, be the person that you want you to be. And, everyone has their own preferences. It boils down to a preferential thing, and that guy can have his preference. And, to talk on the example gave earlier with Steve Urkel, if you can tough it through the storm and be that guy that still values her after her journey and make it to the end of the road and get married, and she finally values you and can be truly happy marrying you, then good for you. You have that's the Forrest Gump syndrome. He
Don, let me ask you this. Don, let me ask you this, brother. And I agree with what you're saying, and it makes perfect sense what you're saying. But listen, a lot of times, you're trying to wait it out in high school. Now, as well as I do, some of the girls in high school that was a dime. Now, they had everything going on, big butt, baby, had a smile. Now they 400 pounds.
I mean, I don't personally recommend that. I'm just saying, if you could be happy doing that, kudos for you. Forrest Gump, it's called the Forrest Gump syndrome. You let this girl do whatever, and the end of the day, and 30, 40 years later, she comes with AIDS and a baby and say, hey, I'm finally ready to settle down.
I love you now.
that's on you.
Yeah.
But you know, being that guy, I kind of had that Urkel syndrome when I was younger. I wasn't
Mhm.
as attractive, I wasn't as confident in myself, and I dealt with that insecurity, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, you chasing that unobtainable thing, it almost seems like during that chasing phase, the
Mhm.
awkward stages or whatever. And you have to realize that you have value in yourself and not to be somebody's second. If your
Mhm.
preference, say, it's so weird to say that you want to be loved for a particular reason that people don't love you for, right?
Mhm.
You might
Mhm.
want to be loved because you want your partner to find you attractive. Like nine
Mhm.
times out of ten, I hide my money away from women. I don't
Mhm.
let them know that I'm well off or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. That might be the
Mhm.
last thing that they know. You know, you
Mhm.
might see that I'm a good person, you might see that I'm helpful, you might see the
Mhm.
things that I want you to see, but you might not see those things that, you know, are normally just, you know, hey, he's the guy. I want him.
Mhm. Yeah.
But, you know, I want to be, but personally, I want to be your first choice. Personally, I
Mhm.
want to be the guy that you like, ooh, you do it for me. I don't
Yeah.
want to be the guy that, you know, you look at and be like, oh, you stable. You ain't
Mhm.
gonna break my heart. You ain't gonna cheat on me, or da 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 da. That sounds like some pretty bare minimum standards.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not cheating,
Mhm.
being a good guy. Those are standard things. Those are not anything extraordinary.
Mhm.
That's not above and beyond. For a guy to respect you, that shouldn't be above and beyond thing. Like,
Mhm.
you know, see how you want to build from that and see what your preference is and why you want somebody to like you. Some women want to be liked for their exterior attributes, and some women
Mhm.
wants to be loved for their sustenance and what they can bring to the table. You have to ask
Mhm.
yourself, what do you want to be loved for overall,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see if you can find a person that can love you for that. And if they can't, I would say move on. Don't waste your time, and don't let anybody put you in a side cart seat just so you can go along for the ride until they're ready for you. Like, I never
Mhm.
wait on anybody. Let them miss their blessing. Let
Yeah.
them miss out on you, and keep moving.
And like the old folks say, don't let somebody don't treat somebody like a priority that's only treating you as an option. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Exactly.
Curtis, talk to me, brother. And we're gonna do this right here because we at 37 right now. So I want to go around as speedy as I can. Let's keep our conversation now at least a minimum at a maximum of 3 minutes. So we're gonna go around. I want to touch. I got a lot of people on the phone lines and stuff like that. I want to be able to touch everybody. Kurt, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? I know you got something for me.
No, really, I don't. I mean, you know, man, listen. I said this a couple of weeks, maybe a week ago. If I was to like grab like something that bothers me, right,
Mm-hmm.
with all of this whole thing, right, this imaging and body shaming and all this, what really bothers me is all these folk going with their face cut up by this doctor, who I personally believe, from a therapeutic point of view, that I personally believe this dude has a real thing for anime cats, man.
Mm. Lord Jesus. Leonard.
I love it because that's the same thing I think, bro.
Mhm.
Listen, man, if you look at all these women, and it ain't just women no more.
No,
Man,
it's
it ain't
men.
just women no more. It's
Mhm.
the dudes too now
Wow.
who can afford it.
Mhm.
If you look at what they look like once they leave from the plastic surgery, they look like anime cats, man. They
Mm.
look like they should be on the Thundercat, the new Thundercats
Thunder,
movie. You
thunder,
know,
Thundercat. Whoa.
some of the bros look like Lionel. The other ones, they look like
They look like plastic cats.
I'm trying to tell you, everybody look like a cat. It look like an anime cat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, is everybody using the same plastic surgeon?
It's horrible.
Because it looks horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with this idea that everybody that is considered gorgeous has to have high cheekbones.
Mm.
Who came up with this idea that everybody who is considered gorgeous has to have high cheekbones with little to no chin?
Yep.
Everybody who's considered gorgeous has to have an Asian kind of form in the eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who is considered gorgeous has to have a coffee table mixed with a heart-shaped butt.
Wow. Let's keep this thing going. And I broke up. I broke up with my girlfriend because of that, man. I left Janet Jackson because she went out there and she did that, man. I said, Janet, I can't deal with you no more, Janet. You don't win it. You done messed up everything. You done messed up.
Mental health. That's your issue. Mental health. Right there.
Now, hold on, Raheem, before you go there, because I ain't do my 3 minutes.
Yeah, you did.
So I just want to throw this out there. I am not speaking against those who have had plastic surgery for whatever personal reasons or whatever. I'm just saying that, come on, y'all. If you're going to know when enough is enough.
Good deal.
Come on. Because you damaging, like, for real. All of these folks, I'll leave it right here. Take the ones that you actually consider beautiful, right? And look at them 40 years from now and tell me what they're going to look like.
Absolutely. Toussaint, 3 minutes, brother. What's on your heart?
Now, you know, it ain't gonna take me 3 minutes to say that people are superficial. I mean, it's like everybody want to be a cartoon character or something. Nobody satisfied with whoever they are. They have to add to it, so that when you take them home, if you get a chance to take them home, whatever the case may be, I'm not just trying to talk about a blind date or hot date or something like that. I'm talking about when you finally find out what you got. It's not what you saw.
Don't stand.
So we live in a fake society, and that's a mess. And you can't find people that are pure. Everybody wants to be a movie star.
Yep.
That's what I said. That's why I said what I said before. It's not two people looking for somebody that they can grow with. I remember they used to call me Black Juju when I was coming.
I'm
just saying.
Look
but I think I grew out of that.
I'm gonna tell you something. You take some of the women home today, man. Don't stand them too close to the fire because they might melt on you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Exactly.
Who determines People magazine's most sexiest man and sexiest woman? My point. Somebody make that determination, and they put it out there in the mainstream media, and from that point forward, they are considered the standard of beauty.
Yeah.
And somewhere after you see these people enough on TV and you adore them and idolize them enough, they start looking good. That woman that John Legend married to, she looked like she had a little Kim surgery.
Yeah.
But everybody called her one of the most beautiful women in the world. Man, well,
Come on, Tegan.
I don't see it at all. You know, and then especially when she's in her natural form. But I mean, you know, somebody considered her and put her on that platform. If they got a list of 100 most beautiful women, somebody made a decision who was number one, and then they'll tell you what the rankings said, or just what polls said. But you know, the thing is everybody has their own view of what beauty is. The thing is most times we get distracted and get influenced by what mainstream media says. So it gets to a point where we really have to turn this thing off. We have to turn off the music. We have to turn off the soap operas and the TV. We have to turn off the Tyler Perry movies, the TV shows. We have to turn off all that stuff and quit looking at magazines' idea of who are the most beautiful people and start making that identification ourselves amongst those that are around us, because we miss out on a whole lot of beautiful people right in our near vicinity. A lot of people with a lot of character that really are beautiful on the inside. You know, they're decent. They might not be J-Lo pretty.
Yeah.
But who's to say J-Lo is one of the most beautiful people in the world? Maybe she just look beautiful like that because she's seen so much. That's the power and the influence of TV. So, you know, we got to think about how much that has impacted the atmosphere that is going on now. When we start talking about dating, start talking about qualification requirements, assets that people are looking for, always look at the fact that the trend is dictated by mainstream now.
Exactly. Grace, what's on your heart? Give me 3 good minutes. Grace, you there?
Yes, I am here. What I really want to know.
Ma'am, are you there? We lost you for a second. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
I was saying, I want to know who gave us the authority to determine what is what isn't beautiful when we didn't, in fact, we didn't create nor even introduce this. You see? So my point is, I said some time ago that God created us all and he did it for a reason. We are the way we are. We're in the race that we're in. We're in the position that we're in because this is what he determined for our lives. You see? So my point is, when you look at a real person, you are not looking at their facial features. You are looking at the heart of this person. Who is this person? Who are you? What do you represent? What do you present to the world? That is where beauty is.
Absolutely.
That's my take on it.
Absolutely. Carlos, what's on your heart, brother? Give me 3 minutes.
When I was in high school, there was the drill coach, the drill team coach, really beautiful, attractive lady, you know, stately lady. And, you know, when you're kids, you just idolize certain people. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And you think of a woman as a beautiful, whatever. So we would at the football game, and then she comes in with her husband. And everybody laughing at her husband. They said, "What? I can't believe, what is she seeing in him?" And this, that, and the other, you see. And it has to do so many times, whereas Joe was saying, it has to do for her, that has to do with who he really is. Because he's beautiful to her because she knows him as a person. And I think we get so caught up into who's at our right side, who we carrying in our arms, you know, whose hand are we holding? Because we have this old idea of whoever we got with us is our trophy, is the one that makes us measure up with everybody else or measure higher than everybody else. And so you can see it in some guys, you know, if they got what's called a really, really pretty girl with them, beautiful woman with them, you know, that gives them a little more, you know, a little more swag. You see what I'm saying? Because they got this really, really beautiful woman. So that puts them up. So it's all this trying to get an image, and that can either be beauty or it could be money, you know, or like we were saying earlier, it could be some of those kind of things. But I think the bottom line for us is we have to really, like somebody said earlier, we have to really kind of know who we are and appreciate ourselves. Because, I mean, if you think about it, everybody that's considered beautiful is not going to want you.
Yeah.
You know, so you pointed that, oh, look at that beautiful man. I give anything out that one right there. And that one, she looked at you like, what? You okay? Please get out of my face, man, or whatever. You know. And so what does that leave you? It make you feel bad about yourself? No, like somebody said earlier, there's somebody for everybody. And I think the most important thing is we get to know people for who they really are, is for their character, for their inward person. You know, all that's the most important thing. Sure enough, there's a kind of a woman that's going to be more attractive to a guy than another woman. There's a kind of man that's going to be more attractive to a woman than another man. And I think I've kind of heard some people say, hey, I love you, but you know, I think so and so, this actress is a beautiful woman right there, but I love you. Or I think this actor is a beautiful man. She's saying to him, but I love you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not to negate how, you know, you're predisposed toward that kind of beauty, whether it's slanted eyes, big lips, you know, big whatever, or thin, you know, whatever. You're entitled to think what is attractive because it's too. Nobody can dictate that to you, and
Absolutely.
that may change. It goes up and down, and it has to do with what we internalize. It has to do with the media, and so we cannot make it not be. You know, like they say, you can't unsee that. You know, people say, and so we can't make it not be, but we can think about what's more important to me in my life and my future.
Good deal. Good deal. Don?
Which one?
Don W.
All right. So, yeah, man, everybody said great things. There's not really much to say on that note, like too much, but I would say like nowadays I listen to like J. Cole, and I like one of his songs where he was pretty much saying, you know, there's always going to be somebody out there that looks better. There's always going to be out there somebody that has more money or whatever the case may be. So you really just have to love yours. And another one of his lyrics was like, how you gonna fix something God already put his paintbrush on? You know, so our world is pretty much a good bit of it is superficial, but at the same time, you have to be able to hone in on getting to know someone where you can find attractiveness in their characteristics, their personality, overall for yourself personally. You know, to each his own. You know, I don't knock anything that anyone else does, because, you know, if they choose to do that and, you know, they wind up and they're happy for it, then that's for them. So as long as you're happy, that's the main thing, you know. But usually 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be happy with something that doesn't have substance to it.
Exactly. And it's like my aunt used to say all the time, and if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. Leonard?
Yep.
Leonard?
I like what my man Don said, you know. And I go back to what I said in the beginning. It's that value. It's that value that's most important. My mother used to say, you know, don't let nobody love you any kind of way.
Don't let the green grass fool you.
So, you know, it's if it's attractive, if you will know it. Attractiveness is just chemistry. Boom, it's there.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's not. You know it's not, but it's not a deal breaker either. If that other thing that person has is something that you like more. Remember, people say, well, what's your type? The type that like me.
Point
the
blank
type that like me. That's my type.
Yeah.
You know, they all come different. You know, they all come different. They all have different things to offer. You know, I'm great at what I don't like. I know what I don't like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't look for that, you know. But at the same time, it's just chemistry is there. There are some people who may be with people and they've lied to them. They don't really even love them.
Wow.
They don't even love. Like my mother used to say, a woman gonna like you because you know how to be a husband. I was raised to be somebody's husband. That's what I was raised to do.
Yeah.
That's what was important, and that's what is of value in my family. Marriage. And children and things like that. So, you know, it was never blown out of proportion. I never was into those things that were meant to deceive me. I seen a crazy meme today about when you hanging out with your homeboy in Atlanta, your Atlanta roommates, or they new to Atlanta and they visiting you, and they bring somebody home and they don't know when they go in that room they're gonna be in a sword fight.
Wow.
That's how much you. That's how wicked it can be to focus on looks. You have men out there that can dress and look just like women. And if that's all you interested in, and you miss those certain cues that let you, hey,
hold on now,
dude,
wait a minute,
right?
Wait a minute.
So we shouldn't get so carried away in that. But one, it's great to see a woman natural. I'm a natural guy. I like natural things. So I'm not even interested in all the dress up. You know, you could go see it, but that ain't the truth. That's the image. You know.
Exactly.
So it's to each his own, but chemistry will be there. That young lady has a right to choose whom she gives herself to.
That's good. That's good.
So if she don't like, let him go. Trust me, that's somebody else's blessing that may, you know, is going to go on. You know, and a lot of men who say, you know, I hear a lot of men say, I made a mistake, or I made a mistake. I don't know it's so much you made a mistake. It's just you greedy. And you under the notion that I guess you just have all the women you see that you like, all of them, really. You know, how beautiful is beautiful when beautiful can come right behind somebody else. If you're just looking with regular eyes.
Exactly. Hold on, we gotta get on out of here, brother. Let me go to K with the E. K with the E, what's on your heart, sis?
Just listening. Just tell everybody to don't look at you gotta look at the heart. You gotta get to know people. And they always say your beauty is where? From within.
Exactly.
And you gotta get to know a person. Can't just look at the outside.
Absolutely.
Start on $1 million on a genuine life because you're looking at the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the clock and it's 57, so it's time for us to get out of here. Rico, we got a show that we do every Monday through Friday called The Morning Glow, which is here every day, Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. But Wednesday is a real special day. Wednesday is the day that we do something. What is it called, Rico? What?
Way Out Wednesday.
Yes, sir. So Way Out Wednesday is a day that we open up the phone lines. Whatever you want to talk about, you can give us a call. We'll talk about it in its entirety. I'm going to go to Miss Grace. Miss Grace, will you pray us out, sis?
Yes, I will. Father, we thank you that you are the creator of everything. We brought nothing, we shall take nothing away. Help us to keep that in mind, and that you love us, you created us in your image, and that is, it's too broad for us to comprehend. We thank you for all the things that you've given us. We look forward to a new year. We pray that our minds would be expanded to really believe that you know what you are doing. You did everything for a reason, and we praise you for that. We pray for each of the participants on this program. We look forward to being involved during the weeks and the years of this year. We look forward to a very good year. We thank you for the opportunity to express our views and to learn from each other. We give you praise in all of these things in Jesus' name and for his sake. Amen.
Amen. Anybody got anything quickly before we get out of here?
Man, Happy New Year to everybody, man.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year.
Now,
Happy New Year.
Now, next week about this time, we'll be able to talk about who won that. We got two fellas on the bottom row down here. Actually, we got everybody on the screen here is tied into that game that's coming up. Everybody is tied up in that game that's coming up, and I got people putting up the Georgia sign, and the guy to his I guess it will be to his right just got beat by Georgia real bad. We ain't gonna say the name of Michigan. We ain't gonna say the name of the Yeah. Georgia beat them pretty bad, and now this side here At the top of here, there's Alabama, and at the bottom here, there's Georgia. And we're gonna have a conversation next week, Tuesday, on who is going to be the national champion. Now, Georgia ran into a buzzsaw last time. Went against Alabama, they ran into a little buzzsaw. You know, they
always run into a buzzsaw when it comes to us.
Alabama going all the way.
We're looking at a different story next. We looking at a different story this time around.
You know, I ain't gonna even lie. I picked y'all to win the last game, man, cause you know y'all got like a lot of fifth year seniors and 6th year seniors, and we just got a lot of sophomores. But after we whooped y'all the way we whooped y'all, man, I don't know.
This guy, that was really shady, Rico.
But it's the truth. True hurt. It's the truth.
That was real shady. I like how you did that. That was really good.
Listen, we about to get on out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and Real Men Being Men for being a part of your evening. Know that we're here at Real Men Being Men every Tuesday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. DKM Media Group and Associates. It is 10:01. You're about to exit Real Men Being Men, but before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light of you for Real Men Being Men. Take it out there to this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? We love you. Take care of each other, and please be blessed.